Hey everybody, so we had a couple different people that had asked me. I was here in Deer Lake a couple times, down at Orwiesburg. They're like, hey, you gotta go and stop by Fighters Heaven, Muhammad Ali's training camp. So we are here today at Muhammad Ali's training camp. So we're gonna go over, we're gonna look at the Pennsylvania Historic Marker. We're gonna look at a couple of different fighters, where they would, the cabins that they would be at, and then they go and do the workouts. So we're going to look at as much as we can here. This is open 10 to 5 on Saturdays and Sundays. It's open to the public. Very, very cool place to be here, and there's a lot of memorials that we'll look at and video those as well. So let's turn this around, check this out. So here you get to see some of the cabins that they would have stayed in. It's cool. They have like a little church here as well, which is really, really neat. And they do have these different fighter memorials, which we'll video, and then of course you see the historic marker. But it's just so neat. They even have like a little chapel here and everything. And just to think, the great Muhammad Ali trained here is just such a neat thing to come and visit, because it's not something that I've ever come to see, and something I'm very glad to come and see this. So let's go across the road. Let's go look at the historic marker, and we'll go from there. Welcome to Muhammad Ali Training Camp. There you have Muhammad Ali welcomes you to Deer Lake, Pennsylvania Training Camp, established 1972. So neat. And then you have these stones where put like Jack Dempsey, and then the memorial. Jack Dempsey, 1895 to 1983. The Manasseh Mauler reigned as the world heavyweight champion from 1919 to 1926. Cultural icon of the 1920s, Dempsey's aggressive fighting style and exceptional punching power made him one of the most popular boxers in history. His record was 54 wins, 6 losses, and 9 draws, 44 wins by KO. This is just really freaking neat. And there you see a couple more of the cabins up there. Sonny Liston. Look at his thing. Muhammad Ali, 3-time world heavyweight boxing champ. Muhammad Ali built his Deer Lake training camp here in 1972. After training at a nearby mink farm, he purchased this land on remote Sculp's Hill to create his ideal training camp, calling it Fighters Heaven. Ali trained here through 1980 for some of his most legendary victories, including Rumble in the Jungle with George Foreman and Thrilla in Manila with his greatest rival, Joe Frazier. Once again, you get to see. I just think that's so neat, so iconic. And just a tribute to these amazing boxers, and a ton of them here. This is really cool. Sonny Liston, 1932 to 1970. A menacing presence in the ring, Liston won the world heavyweight title from Floyd Patterson in 1962. In 1964, he sought to retain his belt in a much publicized fight against a young, brash up-and-comer named Cassius Clay Jr. A huge underdog in the fight, Clay defeated Liston, who failed to answer the bell for the 7th round. In their rematch, Clay scored a first-round knockout. Liston's pro fight record was 50 wins and 4 losses, 39 wins by KO. Here's my personal favorite. Always loved Joe Frazier, just because he's such an amazing dude, and they were actually really, really good friends and cared and loved each other very much. Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier, 1944 to 2011. Smoking Joe Frazier reigned as undisputed heavyweight champion from 1970 to 73. In 64, he won the Olympic gold medal in Japan. He was known for his strength, durability, and relentless pressure. His 3 fights with Muhammad Ali are legendary. He beat Ali in their first match, dubbed Fight of the Century, at Madison Square Garden in 71. First person to defeat Ali. His pro record was 32 wins, 4 losses, and 1 draw. 27 wins by knockout. Jerry Quarry, 1945-1999. Jerry Quarry was a popular heavyweight in the late 1960s and early 1970s. His famous bouts were against the world champions Floyd Patterson, Jimmy Ellis, Joe Frazier, and Ken Norton. He fought Muhammad Ali 2 times, losing both bouts. To his disadvantage, he had a tendency to cut easily, but was only counted out in one fight against George Chuvalo. His record was 53 wins, 9 losses, and 4 draws. 32 wins by knockout. Jerry Quarry. You have Gene Tooney, 1897 to 1978. Gene Tooney held the World Heavyweight title from 1926 to 1928, as well as the American Light Heavyweight title twice between 1922 and 23. He defeated Jack Dempsey twice. His successful title defense against Dempsey was one of the most famous bouts in boxing history. He retired undefeated as a heavyweight. His professional record was 65 wins, 1 loss, and 1 draw. 48 wins by knockout. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. And these were Ali's trainers. I just love this. This is really such a neat bit of history. I mean, it is such an amazing, amazing bit of history. Be able to come here and see this. It's so cool that they have this here, and for people to come and enjoy and keep it open to the public so they can learn about this history. And just, it is such a neat place. Ali was really a phenomenal guy. He stood up for what he believed in. He stood behind it. Just really, Joe Louis, another classic boxer here. Joe Louis, 1914 to 1981, regarded as one of the greatest heavyweights. The Brown Bomber reigned as world champion from 1937 to 1949. That's impressive. And he competed in 26 championship fights. 1938, during the building to World War II, Louis faced Nazi Germany's Max Schmeling before a crowd of 70,000 at Yankee Stadium, as well as a worldwide radio audience. Louis knocked out Schmeling in the first round, elevating him to a national hero. His professional record was 66 wins, 3 losses, 52 wins by knockout. That's, yeah, wow. But you just look at this and just think this is, wow. You know, the history here is just stunning. This is really quite amazing. So here you have Angelo Dundee, 1921 to 2012. He was considered one of the greatest trainers, cornermen in boxing. He was the cornerman for all of Ali's fight except 2. He was also the cornerman for most of Sugar Ray Leonard's career. He also trained George Foreman when he regained the heavyweight title against Michael Moore in 1994, becoming the oldest heavyweight champ at 45. In total, Dundee trained 15 world champions. There, Rocky Marciano, 1923 to 1969. Rocky Marciano was one of the most popular heavyweight champions in boxing history. Known for his toughness and relentless style, he held the world heavyweight title from 1952 to 1956. He had 6 title defenses and was the only boxing champion to retire undefeated. He died tragically in a plane crash in 1969, the day before his 46th birthday. His record was 49 wins and no losses, 43 wins by knockout. I really do think this is so cool. Like the painting of the names on these rocks is just such a cool tribute to these guys. Yeah, here you have Archie Moore, 1916 to 1998. Archie Moore was the longest reigning world light heavyweight champion in history from 52 to 62. He had one of the longest professional careers in the history of boxing, 1935 to 1963. And he's the only man to have faced both Rocky Marciano and Muhammad Ali. He fought an incredible 219 fights in his career and compiled a record 186 wins, 23 losses, and 10 draws, 132 wins by knockout. That's insane. Especially with the beating these guys took. Wow. Like that's extraordinary. Unfortunately, I can't read whatever that is. Here they have a monument to Ali's staff. I can read all his names because some of them are pretty easy, and a bunch of them I don't want to mess up their names, disrespect them. But that's so very, very, very cool. These are the guys that helped make Ali who he was. I think we can go in there. I think that's where he actually has the boxing ring where he trained. But I want to do the rest of these guys that are the memorials to these guys. Rocky Graziano. A lot of guys named Rocky, including Rocky. Rocky Graziano, 1919 to 1990. He was a popular middleweight boxer and is considered one of the greatest knockout artists in boxing history. He fought many of the best middleweights of his era. He fought 3 title fights against Tony Zale, winning their second bout in 1947, becoming world champ. He had a professional record of 67 wins, 10 losses, and 6 draws, 52 wins by knockout. It is really impressive. Some of these guys' records are just insane because the amount that they fought. And there's Sugar Ray Robinson. 1921 to 1989. Robinson is generally considered the best pound-for-pound fighter in boxing history. Tactical genius. He had the 3rd longest unbeaten streak in history, 91 fights. Jeez, he held the world welterweight title from 46 to 51. He then went on to become the middleweight champion 5 times between 51 and 60. He fought Jack LaMotta 6 times, winning 5 of the bouts in their brutal rivalry. Flamboyant both in and out of the ring, Robinson compiled a record of 173 wins, 19 losses, and 6 draws, 108 wins by KO. Dang. That's impressive. Willie Pep. I've never heard of. Willie Pep, 1922 to 2006. Nicknamed Willie O the Wisp. Willie Pep is considered one of the best fighters of the 20th century. Known for his finesse and elusiveness, he held the world featherweight title twice between 1942 and 1950. He fought an incredible 241 fights, compiling a record of 229 wins, 11 losses, and 1 draw, 65 wins by knockout. That is insane. This is such a... I'm so glad I came here. So I have to say thanks to Jay for telling me, hey, John, you need to go over here. Kid Gavillian, 1926 to 2003. Gavillian won the welterweight title in 1951 and successfully defended his 7 times. He was never knocked out in his 143 fight career. Gavillian is credited with inventing the bolo punch, which was half hook, half uppercut. He said he developed from years of cutting sugarcane in his native Cuba. His professional career consisted of 130 losses, 6 draws, 28 by knockout. Kid Gavillian. I always love the boxer names and stuff like that because they're just so neat. As the flamboyancy. Floyd Patterson, they had talked about, we had a couple things we had talked about him. 1935 to 2006. At age 21, Patterson became the youngest world heavyweight champion in history at the time by defeating Archie Moore in 1756. In 1960, he lost his title to Ingmar Johansson. He beat Johansson in a rematch, becoming the first heavyweight to regain the title after losing it. He faced Ali in 1965, losing a 12-round decision. His record stands at 55 wins, 8 losses, and 1 draw, 40 by knockout. And this is so cool, like to have this here and just wow. I actually have for Jack Johnson, I have one of those old tobacco cards. It's not in great shape, but I have one for him from his period of time, which would have been, I think, teens. He's probably my second favorite boxer. Jack Johnson, 1878-1946. Jack Johnson became the first African-American heavyweight champion in 1908 by defeating Tommy Burns on July 4th, 1910 in front of 20,000 people in an outdoor ring in Reno. Johnson defeated ex-champs James Jeffries in what was then called the Fight of the Century. He was a flamboyant and controversial figure in the early 20th century. Ali often said he was influenced by Johnson. His pro record was 74 wins, 13 losses, and 10 draws, 40 wins by knockout. Here we have Jersey Joe Walcott. Jersey Joe Walcott, 1914 to 1994. 1951, Walcott won the World Heavyweight title in his third rematch with Ezzard Charles, becoming the oldest to hold the title at age 37 until the era of George Foreman. He lost his title to Rocky Marciano in 1952 and compiled a pro record, 53 wins, 18 losses, and 1 draw, 33 wins by knockout. Really is just stunning. So we're going to go into some of these buildings. We get to see a little bit of this amazing history. Gee. So this, I'm assuming, is Muhammad Ali's cabin. That, wow. I mean, this is just stunning. Stunning. Greatness was here. Really was. So neat. You have a bunch of his letters and those types of things. And this is where I just wow. I'll tell you, folks. Get the chance to come here to Deer Lake and you love boxing, you love sport, you love history, this is so ridiculously cool. Like, so neat to get to be at a place like this. Is just amazing. This is where Muhammad's dishes. Like, this is just so very, very cool. And it's so neat that they have this here for people to be able to enjoy. Muhammad Ali, 1942 to 2016.
That's your bell, I take it.
That bell rings every morning at 4:30, and every fighter in those 2 bunkhouses must be down here dressed by 5 o'clock.
Very, very cool.
It rings again at 8 o'clock for breakfast and 5.
That is absolutely fantastic. I just love the way, like, the spelling of certain things too is just, this is classic Ali. This is amazing.
Well, it was originally handwritten, and then
Okay.
they made they made a printout.
Okay.
So there's a photo of Ali right
Okay,
there,
cool.
and then you got the list of rules right there. But, hey, they're good rules.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic. Look, Pinch the cook.
Yeah.
That's great. Please wait. Rome wasn't burned in a day. It takes a while to burn the roast. This is. People kept on telling me, because I run a YouTube channel, history channel. They're like, you got to come up here, because I had stopped in Deer Lake and stuff like that. And I was like, sure, I'll stop up here. This is amazing. This is absolutely amazing.
Awesome. Well, like, my favorite rule is number 7. That one's I've had I catered a dinner for like 40 people once.
Yeah.
And then it like they paid for 40 people. I prepped for 45 just because they also wanted some leftovers. And
Yeah.
it wasn't that hard. Anyways, and then they're like, "Oh, is it cool if we bring another 10 people day of after I bought all the ingredients?
Yeah.
Talked to all the people." And it was like a 6-course meal.
Oh, gee.
Really?
Read rule number 7. That's so great. Thank you so much. I mean, this is great that you guys have this. Is just be open to the public and stuff like that to be able to come see this.
No, it's open to the public,
It's amazing.
On Saturdays, Sundays.
Yeah.
I don't know if you met Mick, but he'll show you around, give you a tour.
All right,
It's pretty
cool.
slick.
Yeah.
Pretty slick.
This is phenomenal.
Just trying to get this kitchen up and running.
Yeah.
It was owned by a guy who ran a bed and breakfast,
Mm-hmm.
and he had this is a fraction of the coffee makers
Oh,
that were
right.
originally here.
Wow.
And so they were like, "Oh, we'll hang on to a handful of them," and I'm like, "You just need one."
Yeah.
Like, you got this beast right here. Like that's all you need.
Yeah.
So and just a handful of things.
That's just so neat.
Yeah.
What's just like going in his cabin? Like
God.
Muhammad Ali was there. That's his bed. These are his dishes. And then watching a video of him talking about the stuff that you're seeing right there, you're seeing with him. And it's just,
It's awesome.
it's amazing. Really is.
It's great that they were able to find that video and just
Oh yeah.
get everything in tip-top shape.
Oh yeah. Yeah, this is this is one of the coolest things I've been at yet. It really is. I've been at Valley Forge, and this might be a little cooler. Sorry, but it's awesome. Once again, you have some of the letters there. It's just so neat. Some of the pictures here. So it's just so cool that they share this with the public to allow them to take part in Muhammad Ali's extraordinary life. That thing is freaking hilarious. It was so neat. The dude's famous, and chose to live like a normal person. It's really, really neat. Says a lot about the guy. So, cool. Thank you once again. This is amazing. And here's where it happened. This is amazing. Got the Life magazines here. Sonny Liston, Cassius Clay, Becoming Muhammad Ali.
April 28, 1967, federal customs bill, Houston, Texas. The unwanted war is always not about to be a part of it.
Yes, these fighting posters are phenomenal. This is the Thriller in Manila. That's amazing. Joe Frazier. Welcome to Fighter's Heaven. When Muhammad Ali trained in this gym, his workouts were always open to the public for free. In that spirit, there was no charge to tour the camp. Yet Muhammad was also saying that once retired from boxing, he wanted to use his fame and notoriety to help those less fortunate and to make the world a better place. In that spirit, if you enjoy your visit to or have found it educational, we urge you to consider a donation to one of our partner charities. That's cool. Michael J. Fox Foundation. So that's sort of neat. I'm more at home with my log cabins than I am in my house at Cherry Hill. You just think about the history here, the training. This is unreal. Mr. Ali, please fasten your seatbelt. Superman don't need no seatbelt. Superman don't need no airplane either. I wish people would love everybody else the way they love me. It would be a better world. Very, very true. It's just so very, very neat. Even had the Beatles were here. There's the fireplace we saw earlier that he built to enjoyment of the other boxers. The fight is won or lost far away from witnesses, behind the lines in the gym and out there on the road long before I dance under those lights.
And still another setback for Muhammad Ali. The jaw broke.
Mike Tyson.
It was a message from God. I must work hard to
This is amazing.
He fought Kenny Norton for the second time. He was a different Ali. Trimmed down. The movement was there. The combinations were there. He won the decision. But there was another thought to be eaten.
Hating people because of their color is wrong. And it doesn't matter which color does the hating. It's just plain wrong.
Even the shot as he peppered Frazier with left and right. And again, he had won the decision. He had gotten
If you treated Ali right, he'd treat you right. And if you didn't treat him right, he'd still treat you right. That's just one reason why people love Ali. Larry Holmes. Yeah, Elvis. Nice. Kilroy's Corner. The majority of the photos on display here were made available from the private collection of Ali's longtime friend and business manager Gene Kilroy, a native of Sculp County. It was Kilroy who first brought Ali to Deer Lake to train at the mink farm of Bernie Pollock. Without Gene's kindness, support, and generosity, the current restoration of Fighter's Heaven would not have been possible. So thank you to Gene Kilroy. There's Jackie Robinson. Jackie Robinson is one of the greatest guys ever. Yeah. I always bring out the best in men I fight, but Joe Frazier, I tell the world right now, brings out the best in me. I'm going to tell you that's one hell of a man, and God bless him. These two men absolutely adored and loved one another, fought each other, but they loved each other. Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. His hands can't hit what his eyes can't see. That's the man himself. The man who views the world the same at 50 as he did at 20 has wasted 30 years of his life. That is very, very true. He was quite the wise guy, smart guy, really amazing, really is amazing. Well, I want to thank you guys for coming along. This is an absolutely amazing experience to get to come here. It's a privilege. So I encourage you guys, come out here, check out Fighter's Heaven, Muhammad Ali's training camp, and really experience this. History heaven. You get to be part of something and see something tangible right here in front of you. That's so important to sports history, boxing history certainly, but just history in general. Really extraordinary guy. So as always, I want to say thanks for coming along, and we'll see you all about town.